Hello everyone. In this video I am going to teach you democratic government. So democratic government. Before starting this chapter, I am going to give you one example. Just imagine a school without a teacher or a principal. What will happen? Every child does what he or she wants to do. Some may study quietly, many will make noise or fight against some, others may just jump around. Someone may snatch your bag and many may come without them. But then we all know that there is no such school without teacher or a principal. As students, you come to a school, abide by its rules and regulations. In turn, you are safe and you grow with discipline. In the same way, people living in a country balance individual freedom with rules and regulations. By doing this, they learn to agree and adjust with one another to enjoy the rights of life, liberty and property. To enjoy all these rights, they give the power and authority to a group of people called the government. So if we will see the role of the government, we will find that there are three important roles of the government, and they are: government have to see the laws are fair and follow directive principles of state policy. Laws are implemented properly. Laws are interpreted correctly and disputes are settled in a fair and just manner. And now the branches of the government. There are three branches of the government. The legislature, it makes the laws. The executive, it implements these laws. And the judiciary settles any dispute according to these laws and protects people's fundamental rights. India, it is a union of 28 states and 9 union territories. Central government. The government at the center is called the central government. State government, the government at the state is called the state government. The power is divided between the central and the state government. And this structure is known as a federal structure. This has been provided by the Constitution to govern the country properly. Federal structure. The question arises as to how power is to be shared between the central and state governments. The Constitution gives three clearly demarcated lists that name the subjects that are under the state and the subjects that are under the union. So, union list. The subjects which are under the central government are defense, railways, foreign affairs, national security, waterways and currency. And now the subjects which are under the state list are markets and fairs, agriculture, police within the state, transport and roads within the state, public health and irrigation. Now, concurrent list. Subjects that are under both the union and state governments. They are education, wildlife, forests, electricity, factories, archaeological sites. For subjects under this list, both the governments have to work together. Now, the legislature. This is the law-making body, also known as Parliament or Sansad. It has two houses, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. It can be dissolved under certain conditions. The Parliament consists of the President, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Now about Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is the highest law-making body. It is also called House of People or Lower House. Members are elected for a period of 5 years. Maximum 552 members are in Lok Sabha. Why Lok Sabha is called the House of People? It is called the House of People because its members are elected directly by the people when elections take place. The members are elected directly by the people when elections take place, so it is called the House of the People. Speaker of Lok Sabha is elected by its members. Any Indian citizen who is 18 years of age or above enjoys the right to vote for a candidate of his or her choice. Any citizen who is more than 25 years of age can contest in the elections to the lower house or the Lok Sabha. Our country is divided into smaller units or constituencies. The candidate who gets the highest number of votes in a constituency is declared the winner. He or she becomes the member of Lok Sabha. Now, Rajya Sabha, the upper house. It is also known as upper house. Vice President is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. State legislative assemblies elect the member of the Rajya Sabha. Maximum 250 members are in Rajya Sabha. In that, 238 members are elected once and 12 are nominated by the President of. The members of Rajya Sabha are elected for a period of 6 years. 1/3 members are retired every 2 years and then new members come in their place. Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. Now, the executive. The president is the head of the country. The president is the head of the country. The elected members of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and the state legislative assemblies form an electoral college to elect the president. The president is elected for a period of 5 years. Forming the government. Political parties. Our country is a democratic country. So what is democracy? Democracy, it is the government of the people, for the people and by the people. In this form of government, the people elect their representatives who run the government under a free electoral system. The citizens of India contest or fight elections as independent candidates or by forming political parties. The party that gets the maximum number of seats forms the government. Coalition government. Sometimes when no single party gets a majority, then many parties come together and form the government. This is called coalition government. The leader of the majority party is appointed as the Prime Minister by the President of India. The leader of the party that has the second largest number of members in parliament is chosen as the leader of opposition. Now, the state government. Every state has a legislative assembly called the Vidhan Sabha. It makes laws for the state. The members of legislative assembly or MLA is elected for a term of 5 years through direct elections in the state. State is divided into constituencies. The party that gets the maximum number of seats in the legislative assembly forms the government. The governor is the head of the state and the governor is appointed by the President of India. The leader of the majority party becomes the chief minister of the state. Now, the judiciary. Supreme Court, highest judicial body in our country. The Chief Justice of India heads the Supreme Court. There are many other judges in the Supreme Court. All are appointed by the President of India. Now, High Court. At the state level, the High Court is the highest judicial body. The Chief Justice heads the High Court of each state. Each state consists of district. Each district has district and sessions court headed by a judge. Now about union territories. The president directly governs the union territories. An administrator is appointed by the union government for each union territory. Puducherry and National Capital Territory of Delhi are unique. Why they are unique? Because they have legislature. So this is all about the democratic government. Thank you. Have a nice day.